Have you ever thought you knew something, then you came to find out that you were wrong, and now all of life seems like a lie?
Yeah.
Like when you found out Snow White said magic mirror on the wall, not mirror, mirror. Well, you're not alone. False memories are not rare. They are actually quite common. Every person alive has once experienced a false memory. They could be as small as swearing you left your keys on the counter to remembering details about a crime you witnessed. False memories can also be shared by a bunch of people. They are not subject to one individual, meaning we have probably had the same false memory at some time in life.
Hello, and welcome to the Higher Theories Conspiracy Podcast. I am your host, Jamie, and this is your other host,
Katrina.
Today's episode, the Mandela Effect. How today's episode will go is we will start by discussing the Mandela Effect, its origin, some examples of the Mandela Effect, and wrap it up with our personal theories. This episode, along with all previous episodes, can be found on Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, and everywhere else you listen to your favorite podcast. So, the logo on the fruit of the Loom clothing products has what? An apple to its right. There's a couple blueberries. I think those yellow things, maybe lemons or peaches, and a brown cornucopia resting behind all the fruit, right?
Yeah, that's how I remember it.
That's how I remember it too. So does a vast population of the world. But in fact, the Fruit of the Loom logo, dating back to 1893, did not contain any cornucopia, and it hasn't to this date.
Wait, no way.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't have one.
I've always seen one, but there's no way.
No, I'm serious. I know, it feels like life is now a lie. What are you questioning now? Life.
So where does that idea come from? Well, that's an example of what the Mandela Effect does. Some memories feel like just that, memories, when in fact, these thoughts have never been truth in our own minds. The human mind is a complex and interesting thing, and sometimes it can do things that really messes with us. For example, if you tell yourself over and over for years every day that you witnessed a murder when you were 6, you might just be able to piece together this murder more clear as time goes on. This is because your mind is creating the memory for you. You never saw the murder. Your mind just thinks that it would be a cool thing to have stored, so it creates this false memory. And the more you tell the story, or the more you think to yourself it's true, the more it will be true for you.
Another example of the Mandela Effect is the Bernstein Bears. You remember reading those books as a kid. For most of us, the family of bears were a beloved part of our childhood. So you might be shocked to find out that we've been spelling their names wrong the entire time. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah. The actual correct title of the series is the Bernstein Bears, with an A. Yep. The Bernstein Bears debuted in 1962, written and created by Stan and Jan Bernstein. The Bernstein Bears series has grown to over 300 titles and over 260 million copies sold. And ever since that debut, it's been spelled Bernstein Bears. Some evidence, though, exists that says it once was Bernstein Bears.
Someone online posted a photo of a toy Bernstein bear. What's so confusing about it is that the doll's label features a banner that says Bernstein Bears. And directly beneath that, there's a text that reads 13-inch Bernstein Mama Bear.
But I searched the internet for this one because I grew up thinking it was Bernstein Bears. And I find an interview with Jan Bernstein, the co-creator of Bernstein Bears, and Mike Bernstein, her son. In this interview, she introduces herself as the co-creator of the Bernstein Bears. So now, after all this, I feel as my childhood memories were faked. It also led a bunch of others to question their childhood. What happened to our memories that made us all think these damn bears were called Steen instead of Stain? I mean, the authors' names are Bernstein, so why would it be called Steen? In all honesty, no one knows where it started, if it had ever been Bernstein Bears, or when it changed. According to its authors, It's Berenstain. So from now on, it's the Berenstain Bears.
Ugh, that feels wrong.
The amount of times I had to go back and retype stain instead of steen, it was boggling.
Some other examples of this crazy Mandela effect that might blow your mind. Does Curious George have a tail?
Yeah, I would say so. I remember Curious George swinging from his tail, lifting things with his tail.
Yeah, all the time. My childhood revolved around Curious George. But once again, I was wrong.
Oh, he doesn't have a tail?
Apparently not.
Did you know that show Sex and the City?
Yeah.
Nope. It's actually Sex and the City.
No, I've always known it as Sex in the City.
Yeah, look it up. It's Sex and the City. Yeah, pretty crazy.
Fruit Loops. Spelled fruit, F-R-U-I-T, L-O-O-P-S, is wrong. It's actually Fruit Loops, F-R-O-O-T-L-O-O-P-S. This one can be explained quite easily, though. Kellogg's got sued.
Keith Vedetto claimed that he purchased Fruit Loops over a period of 4 years, in large part because he had been exposed to this packaging, the one that says fruit, F-R-U-I-T.
The ingredients list on the Fruit Loops box reveals that the cereal contains no actual fruit, but only natural fruit flavors. In the end, the case was dismissed, but Kellogg's agreed to settle by renaming the cereal to Fruit Loops. That is how the product name as of now came to be, and why the cereal is not called Fruit Loops instead of Fruit Loops.
Pikachu, that little electric Pokemon, it has a yellow tail with a black tip, right?
Oh yeah.
Nope. Since its creation, it has always had a full yellow tail. The only reason I can think people would think Pikachu had a black tip might be because Pichu, that pre-evolved form of Pikachu, has a full black tail. But I do remember Pikachu having that black tip.
Oh yeah, I remember.
I've played Pokemon since I can remember.
Pokemon was another one that I grew up around.
And Pikachu had that black tip on its tail, so I don't know where it went. I don't know how they deleted it all, but it was there, and I remember that.
So there are a few theories on what causes the Mandela effect.
One is called the construction hypothesis.
Construction hypothesis has major implications for explanations on the flexibility of memory. Upon asking a respondent a question that provides the answer, the respondent will provide a recall in accordance with the answer. The respondent will recall the object or detail.
So did you notice for each question I asked if I was right, I gave you the answer in the question? That's a form of construction hypothesis. Being able to shape one's memory results in a mass of people believing one thing stemming from one rumor.
It's also proven that the lack of sleep can affect one's memory, even implanting false memories with enough sleep loss. A very popular theory is we are all living in a parallel universe. The parallel universe theory revolves around the thought that there are infinite versions of you, doing an infinite versions of events. There is a doctor you, a rock star you, and even a serial killer you.
And there is a Pikachu with a black tip on its tail somewhere.
Oh my god. You really used the word cereal.
I did use the word cereal, didn't I? Oh, well, there's an infinite version. There's a guy that goes around stabbing cereal. It has to be.
Basically, it's thought that all these instances of the Mandela effect is the two realities merging into each other, sometimes blamed by the travelers or extraterrestrials. This theory doesn't have much proof, unless we really want to get into the general parallel universe theory. It is said that CERN, when launching the Large Hadron Collider on September 10th, 2008, it opened up access to this parallel universe, but we will save that for another episode.
Yeah, they had this fucking... Remember in The Flash, where that big tunnel where they collided shit and it made a huge explosion and that's how Barry became the Flash?
Or what about Rick and Morty when Rick uses that portal gun?
I mean, kinda, but it's not really the same. But that's the particle collider. So that's the Mandela effect. It's definitely a mystery. It affects us all and will continue to affect us all. Maybe one day we will find the direct cause and be able to control it, if it's in our mind. If it's a parallel universe, hopefully we will be able to access this new world one day. Or maybe it's MK Ultra. Well, I guess now it's time for personal theories.
Well, there is the theory about, like, you know, I was actually talking to you about this earlier. Britney Spears and her headset, her microphone.
I swear.
And Oops, I Did It Again. Me, several others. This is all over the internet, going viral now. But she was wearing a headset, not the headset, but like a microphone.
Yeah, she had that microphone.
And it was in the video for Oops, I Did It Again. But now, everywhere it is, all the videos, every picture, gone. But people who have dressed like her for Halloween, you can see the pictures. There's Barbie dolls of her that comes with the microphone and headset.
Every single one had the mic. Wow. Yeah, I remember seeing it on her. I remember seeing the video of her wearing it. And now in that video, you see her reach for her face, but there's no microphone where she would be reaching for it.
Yeah.
It's pretty odd. That's a definite recent strange version of the Mandela effect we've both recently succumbed to.
I would like to meet one of my selves, but then that would just cause another altercation in like this whole parallel universe, you know, infinite parallel universes.
I wonder if I am the best off version of myself. Like, you know, is there a doctor version of me out there somewhere doing better? Or is there, like, you know,
I gotta meet this guy.
Hey, what are you, the doctor version of me?
Yeah.
Why the doctor?
You watch Grey's Anatomy?
Yeah. Did you know in middle school, I was called, what was it, McDreamy? By this girl? She had a Grey's Anatomy obsession. And she called, like, me and a couple of my friends.
Did you end up being a doctor? No, I guess it was your other parallel universe, you.
Yeah, but I bury people, so. I mean, I'm when the doctors fuck up.
Thanks for staying with us. We appreciate every one of you. You can find Higher Theories on Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, and everywhere else you listen to your favorite podcasts.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Yeah, I don't feel like saying that whole signing out thing.